Caroline, you can
Yes, sir.
start.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning to everyone present here. I'd like to extend a heartfelt welcome to our director, Dr. B.R. Venkatesh, faculty members, and my fellow students. Our speaker for today's Chanakya series of business management lectures is Mr. Bharat J. Bharat is currently the AVP at Ventura Securities Limited for almost 6 years now. He handles the entire Karnataka region and is responsible for sales, new accounts, activation and revenue, and training of staff. He also conducts regular client meets and trains them on markets, trading, and Ventura's software pointer. Prior to this, he was AVP at IIFL for a staggering 9.5 years, where he handled business development, profitability of area, customer engagement, employee training, and product awareness for customers. Bharat is certified market professional on derivatives, securities, commodities, and debt from the NSE and BSE. He is also certified in the derivatives market strategies and a personal financial advisor from the National Institute of Securities Market. He is a certified international wealth manager from AIW in India, a certified financial planner from the Financial Planning Standards Board of India, a certified private wealth manager from the Center of Investment Education and Learning. Bharat has studied BCA, majoring in programming and software development, project management, system development lifecycle, and programming languages such as C, C++, BC, VB, Java, Oracle, and SQL. Bharat also has various certifications on wealth management, currency derivatives, equity derivatives, and mutual funds. It is our utmost privilege to hear and learn from you this morning, sir. On behalf of the management, the faculty, and my students, I'd like to welcome you to today's session on futures and options market. Over to you.
Thanks, Miss Williams, for the long and detailed intro. Thanks everyone for joining in. So today's discussion, we take up the topic of derivatives, how derivatives are useful to you, and how derivatives can be destructive for you. So one famous quote about derivative is from Mr. Warren Buffett, the you can say godfather of investing, that derivatives are the financial weapon for mass destruction. What do you mean by mass destruction? Is a very simple example that derivatives can be used to, you can say, destroy the entire world's financial ecosystem. It will not take much more than derivatives to destroy it. And as you are all interested and possibly have a subject of derivatives, I believe you have basic understanding of what concept of derivative is, what futures are, and what options are. But I'll take you through the same again. But before we just go ahead, if you can put it on the chat box, how many of you are aware about these concepts, and what do you expect out of today's session? We'll try to cover it according to your requirements so that the session is at most useful for you. Do we have a chat box here? I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, in the in call messages option, if you can reply with your interest in derivatives, how many of you have already participated in it or aware about it, small messages. Hello, I hope I am audible. And
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
yeah, so Mr. Chetan sir, can we go with basic of derivatives, or what should we cover? I mean, should we get into details directly? I mean,
Yeah,
the
we can get into details directly, sir. Basics they have about futures and options.
okay.
Basics of that they have. So we can directly go into the detailed part.
All right.
The next, yeah.
Okay, guys, like as we go ahead with derivatives, let me give you some idea of a basic concept once again. derivative, as you are all aware, financial security or instrument to transact or trade on a underlying asset or a group of asset or a benchmark index. Anything can be a derivative contract. You can have a derivative contract for equity shares, stocks. You can have a derivative contract for bonds, commodities, currencies, interest rates, and even stock market indexes. Soon, possibly, we will be having index derivatives for water or the weather index, the carbon index, and all will be available on derivative for a trade. Futures contract, contract to exchange specified asset on a specified date at a specified price. So, normal buy and sell transaction, but at a future date. So that is how the futures contract can be explained. A small comparison between how cash market and futures market trade in Indian scenario. Today in Indian scenario, if you want to look at Nifty, Sensex or any other stock futures and options like Reliance, TCS, Wipro, or you get into a commodity derivative of gold, silver, copper and crude oil. In cash market, you are able to buy and sell a very small quantity of a single one share of Reliance Industries can be purchased with an investment of 2000 rupees. If you talk about Idea shares, Vodafone Idea, that is trading at rupees 10. So in cash market, you can participate with as low as rupees 10. You invest 10, like you purchase 10 shares of Idea at 10 rupees, your investment is 100 rupees. Stock goes up by 5 rupees, you make 50 rupees, 5 into 10. So your investment can be as low as 10 rupees or 100 rupees or whatever when you come to cash market. But when you come to a derivative market, the investments are in a range of anywhere between 1.5 to 3 lakh rupees as the initial margin requirement. And the transaction value is anywhere between 5 to 15 lakhs based on the contract you have selected in equities. Similarly, if you get into a commodity derivative, the gold contract of 1 kg values today approximately 50 lakh rupees, and the margin requirement comes at rupees 5 lakh. Again, we have a 1 gram gold contract. So in commodities, at least you have smaller derivative contracts where you can make trading for a smaller lots like 1 gram of gold, which has a turnover value of 5,000 rupees. And the investment required or margin required will be as low as 500 or 1,000 rupees. So there you have an opportunity to trade in smaller derivative contracts in commodities. Again, smaller size derivative contracts are available in the currency segment when we talk about. So in currency segment, if I say US dollar and Indian rupee contract, the margin or investment required is just 2,000 rupees, and for the same trade the transaction value counts rupees 70,000-80,000 rupees. So that's how the markets are divided. The smaller derivative contracts, if someone wants to learn with a practical experience, will be the gold mini gold micro contracts of 1 gram or silver micro contracts of 1 kg, or it can be a currency derivative contract of 1 lot of USD INR costing 70,000 rupees. If we come to the equity derivative contracts, the margin requirements are on a very higher end, which will be ranging from 1.5 lakh rupees to 3 lakh rupees. As you are all aware, derivative contracts come with a fixed maturity date. The suitability of derivative contract is majorly for purpose of speculating, hedging and arbitrage. So there will be speculators who want to speculate the price rise or fall in the market and want to benefit out of it. This is for them. Or if you have a physical commodity in hand which you want to hedge it, you can hedge the price of that using a futures contract or options contract. Or even you have arbitrage opportunities to buy and sell in cash market, buy cash market, sell a derivative contract, or buy in derivative and sell in the cash market. Multiple such derivative, arbitrage opportunities can also be available. Trade direction, generally when we go for cash market, we also cash market equities, we always have a single direction that we have to buy and hold, and we always want to pray that market goes up. Story, market can go up, go down both, and that both directional trade can be done only in the futures market only. Now we'll just move to the options contract, very similar to futures with the similar fixed lot size and maturity dates, agreement to buy and sell. But differential here is in options you have two different types: calls and puts. Call option giving you a right to buy, put option giving you a right to sell. And when you are trading on call and put specifically, you have a directional trade on the long side or down or on the short side. Long where we expect the markets to rise, and short where we expect the markets to fall. Again, a small comparison of the investment required, especially for the derivative market or the transactional process which is happening here. In futures contract, you have to mandatorily deploy margins and enter a trade, whereas in options market you can enter a trade with a small amount of money, which can be as low as 500 rupees or 1000 rupees or even few hundred rupees. That is called as the premium payment which we do to enter the contract. And as you would have learned, possibly there are two types of participants: the option buyers and option sellers. Buyer of option will make the payment of premium, and seller of option will have to deposit a margin money to enter the transaction, because sellers enter the market with a higher risk that markets can take away 1x or 10x of his premium amount based on the volatility in the market. It can be favorable and unfavorable both to the trader. In Indian context, the equity markets, especially the stock options, are settled every month on the last Thursday. Every month, last Thursday is the settlement for the equity contracts. Every week, Thursday, there is a settlement for the index contracts, that is Nifty, Bank Nifty, Financial Nifty. Sensex options and futures contract are settled every Monday. And we go to commodities, then those are settled at different dates. Gold coming on 5th of every month, or crude oil coming on 20th, copper and other metal coming on the month end. So these are different expiries, but you don't have to remember everything that this is settled on this day or that day. But when you are entering any particular contract, that particular contract, you need to know how long is the time you are having to carry the contract. Small comparison of call options and put options. You are again aware of it. Call option gives you a right to buy, and for the buyer, call option is the right to buy, and for the seller, it is the obligation to sell. Buyer pays the premium, seller collects the premium and deposits margin against it. Buyer has a very limited risk of the premium amount which is paid. It can be 100 rupees, 500 rupees, or 1000 rupees, or 20,000, depends on what premium he has entered at. And unlimited gain is seen. The 100 rupees can end up being 1000, 10,000, or 1 lakh. All depends on the market. Here again, the seller comes with a very limited gain. So if buyer has paid 100 rupees, the maximum gain for the seller would be 100 rupees. So that is the small profit seller can make. And there is an unlimited risk for him, because if the 100 goes to 1000 or 10,000, he has to end up paying 10,000 for this 100 rupees of collection. Similarly, for put option, exactly the same funda, except that put option gives you a right to sell. So we'll move ahead further. Call option, buyer expects the market to rise. What do you want when you enter such trade? As a call option buyer, you want the market to rise. You, as a call option seller, you want the markets to fall. And similarly, put option buyer wants the market to fall, and put option seller wants the market to rise or remain flat. This is about the physical delivery settlement process which is followed. If I'm going fast, you can please interrupt, or if you have any questions, you can always ask on the message box. We'll try to address it. Why I'm going this concept a bit faster is that you are aware about derivatives, and we'll possibly look at advanced derivatives also. Settlement process will cover up again in some time. So this is one thing. If you want to understand about options in detail, there is it is very important to understand how the options are priced. The theoretical formula, the Black-Scholes, would be taught to you in your regular studies, and I do not go with that. I am giving you a very practical and a common man approach, which you can understand how the prices are calculated for these options. Option pricing, first thing, you will have something called as a spot price, that is the current market price of security. Let me try to access NSE website and give you more data or the live indication also for same. So I have opened the NSE's website. What do you see? Reliance Industries trading at a price of 2,224 rupees 15 paise. So this is the correct market price of the security which we are trying to place a call or put option trade. This is one very important factor in determining the price of options. Second is the strike price at which we are trying to buy and sell a call or put. Now, where do you get it? You just come to the derivative part of this same security on the NSE website, and we go to the option chain directly. I hope the option chain screen is visible to you. See, on the left hand side of market, all quotes are available for the call options, and on the right hand side of the screen you have quotes available for the put option. Let us take look at the call options once. 2220, 2240. Yeah, back to the same page. 2220 is one strike price, 2240, 2260, 2300, and so on. If you go downside, you have strike prices up to 2680. So these are the different prices at which you can buy Reliance Industries or sell Reliance Industries. Okay, similarly, it goes on the negative side also, where the prices are starting from 1360. What is the current market price? It is 2224. And according to that, if you look at it, you will notice that there is no activity in the 1360 or 1500 or 1700. Majorly, the activity starts from the price of 2000, not below this. So, why activity is not in the far strike prices? Because there is no point getting into a contract of 1300 when the market is already at 2200. Okay, so the strikes which are very near to the current market price will have maximum activity. If I have to give you further example, 2224 is the current market price. You will notice the highest open interest is 12,000 contracts is at call option strike price of 2200. Next highest open interest is at 23,000 contracts at 2300. Else all the open interest are on smaller figures of 1000, 2000, 4000 contracts. So maximum open interest is at the current market price levels where the stock is trading. And if you are a trader, generally you will prefer buying the options at this options, I mean at this stage only. Again, one more thing you will notice, the expiry date is 24th June 2021. And so if you feel that in next 4 days, that is today being 19th of June, and in the next 4 trading days, that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, if you believe Reliance will start trading above 2300 level, then you can look at buying this Reliance Industries 18 rupees call option at a price of 18 rupees. The lot size or the quantity for your trade will be 250 shares. into 18. So your investment goes to 4,500 rupees. Your investment for this trade is rupees 4,500. And if Reliance starts trading above 2318, that is 2300 of your strike price plus 18 rupees which you have paid, 2318 becomes your break even point, and the higher Reliance goes from this particular level, let's say for example 2350, you end up making rupees 32 as a profit. 32 rupees per share into 250, that is rupees 8,000. Your investment was 4,500 and your return could be 8,000 rupees on this transaction if these expected targets are achieved. Now, as a trader, if you are interested to participate in this market, you need to understand which strike price to trade, because there are multiple strike prices available ranging from 1300 to 2600. You have multiple strike price. So if you are actually interested to participate and make some money here, you need to understand which strike price to actually choose and trade from. And the very simple and easiest strike price will be the one where the market is trading right now. So if your market is trading 2224, you can possibly trade 2200 call, 2220 call, because these are the nearest strikes, and you will notice the highest participation of 12,000 contracts available here. But when you try to trade on this strike price, you find that the premiums are 54 rupees. 54 into 250, the premium is 13,500 rupees, which if you do not want to risk 13,500, then you have to choose a far strike price which can be 2,300, which has the maximum open interest of 23,000 contract. Why I'm going far? The only reason is to save on premium. But to save the premium, I cannot go too far and I'll say I'll buy 2,400 contract at rupees 5. Why? Because there is very remote chance that in next 4 days Reliance can be 2,400. The chances are very, very remote, right? So as the number of days increase, the premiums will also increase. If I just go back to the same Reliance and select the July contract, you will see the strike starts from 1360 again. And if you come back to the 2200 call option, which was trading at 55 here, for the June series, the premiums are 128. 2300, which was trading at 18, the premium is 84. 2400, which was trading at rupees 5, is 50. So what is the difference that 5 rupees of June contract is trading at 55 rupees in July? The reason is time. The amount of time you give to the contract, the premiums increase. Higher the time we have, higher the premiums are. So if I just come back to the same screen and understand the pricing mechanisms for options, different types of in the money, out of money and all possibly you have learned already. So strike price, spot price, and if you have to go with what is the premium calculation, the first thing is volatility of market. what kind of movement is happening every day in the stock market. If you look at last few days, it has been very volatile. Yesterday it was 300 points down and 300 points recovered in a single day. So big volatility. The bigger the volatility, bigger the premiums. Then second is risk. Is there any inherent risk coming up on next few days? Like example, if there is a meeting of RBI lined up on Monday, if there is a budget lined up on Monday, if there is a result or AGM lined up of Reliance Industries on Monday, so that adds up the risk. What kind of risk? AGM, I am not telling AGM will always be negative, but AGM can give some big announcement and make the stock price up 200 rupees or down 200 rupees. The potentials are higher on both the sides. So the risks increase and your premiums for this contract increase. Time value, I gave you the example, June contract which has 4 days left and the premium of 5 rupees. Same July contract which now has 36 days and the premium is 55 rupees. So as the time reduces, the premium reduces. As the time increases, the premium increases. So time will never increase. You have an option to choose the next contract which can be costlier. And intrinsic value, it is derived by the difference between the spot and strike price. This is your premium calculation. Any queries on the premium calculation, you can please ask, and then we will look at the different trading strategies which you can do in options. Chetan sir, anything on the premiums if you would like to ask?
No, sir.
I hope I am going slow or in the right speed.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll again head back to the presentation where we will discuss what kind of trading strategies can be done. See, these strategies are suitable for every market, that is your equities, commodities, currency derivatives, and even any other derivative market which is expected to come and be available in India. So as we discussed earlier, in cash market or cash market, we have an option only to go long, that is buy only. But when we come to futures, we have an option to buy and sell both. So we can go long also, we can go short sell also. So both directions are available to you. That is the advantage of futures contract. But when we come to the options contract, you have a potential to go long, that is buy. You can have a potential to go short, that is sell. You have an opportunity to trade a market which can be very range, where we mix a strategy to get benefit of the narrow ranged market, or we have an opportunity to fix a strategy where we have an opportunity to trade and make money in the market which can be highly volatile and we do not know what direction it could be. So just understand the different strategies available. The first one is highly bullish. Let's say 15,600 is the Nifty closing on Friday, and our target is 16,000 rupees for the coming Thursday, or 16,500 rupees for the coming Thursday. Next 4 days, we expect 500 or 1,000 points of rally. This is a highly bullish sentiment. Under highly bullish sentiment, you have two transactions which can be executed. One, you go ahead and buy a futures contract. The disadvantage of futures is you need to end up making a bigger margin deposit, which is coming around 1.6 lakh rupees for the contract to be entered. So that is the first barrier you have. But if you have sufficient funds available, you can go ahead and buy a futures contract. Alternatively, you can enter and participate in the same trade by going with a buy call option. So buy a simple call option and you make money there as the market rises. Contrary to this, if you have a highly bearish scenario expecting that 500 points of fall on coming week, then you can go ahead and short a futures contract, or you can go ahead and buy a put option. So this is the another trade which you can do if you are having a bearish sentiment or expected of a weak market outlook for the coming days. Next is if you will have a view that market will be slightly bullish. We are at 15,600. We may not cross 16,000, 16,500, but we will surely make 15,800, 15,900. So a slightly bullish sentiment. Under this scenario, you can do another kind of trade. Two or three types of transactions can be done. One is you buy a futures and sell a near strike call. You can say slightly OTM call. Alternatively, you can go ahead and do a sell of put option, because the selling put option gives you a inflow of premium, and if you go ahead and sell in the money or slight out of money, or you can say near the money put option, then you can go ahead and sell this trade also. Alternatively, one more thing can be done is buy two in the money calls and sell for two near the money and two out of money call options. So our net premium outflow reduces when we enter this transaction. We have bought a in the money call and we are selling near the money and out of money calls. So we get a inflow also of the premium when we are selling the near strikes, and there is an outflow also for the premium which we have paid to buy the in the money calls, expecting that market will rise. As we expect the market will not rise too much, we go ahead and sell the call options also. So this is called as bull call spread as a strategy. Similar other strategies are also available with different names. If you would like to get into detail of that, but this is one transaction you can look at when the market is slightly bullish. Markets are slightly bearish, contra opposite strategy. You sell the future contract and you can sell a near the strike put option, or you go ahead and a single trade of writing a call option. This is one trade on the slightly bearish market. You have an opportunity to make money in the narrow ranged market by selling call and put both. So we say 15,600 is the close price of Friday today, and next week also either it will be 15,700 or 15,500, nothing beyond this. Then you can go ahead and sell 15,800 call, 15,400 put. So you have an opportunity to make money in this range. So these are the different calls and puts available. If you just take the example of Reliance, and you expect that 2,300 will not be crossed by next week. Let's come back to the June contract again. Yeah, if you say 2,300 won't be crossed in this week on the upside, you have an opportunity to enter this contract and sell this trade, make 18 rupees. On the downside, you say 2,100 won't be broken, 6 rupees here. So 6 rupees of inflow and 18 rupees of inflow, 24 rupees you get as a net inflow for this transaction. And as long as market remains within this range of 2,100 to 2,300, you make 24 rupees into 250 as a profit out of it. Another strategy would be that markets are extremely volatile. We don't know whether it will be up or down. There is no idea where the markets are headed, but you are expecting that there will be explosive 200, 300 points of up move or down move. So in that scenario, you can buy this 2300 call, buy the 2100 put, or you can buy this 2400 call at rupees 5, 2100 put at rupees 5, 10, 12 rupees of outflow, net outflow. But if there is a big movement happening in the market, this 10 rupees will surely give you 20 rupees of profit. So different market outlooks can be played out using these strategies. I have one. Let's see. There is one something called as put call ratio to understand. If I have to just give you in a very simple way, the total call contracts for this Reliance Industries are 1,08,000 contracts open. The total data is available here on this NSE website, and it gets updated live every day. And on the put side, the total contracts open are 48,000. So more calls are sold against this put. Put selling is very less, call selling is very high. And that will say a put call ratio of anywhere like 0.5, 0.6. This data also gives you a lot of understanding where the markets could be heading or what is the sentiment in the market. More call contracts indicates people are more bearish in the market. You will say call is bullish. Yes, call buyers are bullish, but equally there are call sellers. And someone who has to buy a call can possibly take this contract. Let's say you pay the contract of 2,400 of Reliance. You get 5 rupees of premium, 5 into 250, 1,250 rupees of investment. You enter this contract. And if I sell this contract at same price of 1,250 to you, I need to keep a deposit of 2 lakh rupees with the exchange NSE. So if I am betting that I am happy with 1,250 and for this I give a deposit of 2 lakh rupees, I would have done more homework than you would do when you buy this for 1,250, right? And similarly, there are 9,000 more people who have done homework of selling these contracts. And if you look at the 23,000 open interest at the strike price of 2,300, so there are 23,000 people who have done a homework and say that we are happy with the inflow of 18 rupees, that is 4,500 rupees, 18 into 250, 4,500 rupees of inflow. We are okay and happy to take it for a investment of 2 lakh rupees. So when these people are more, it indicates that markets are bearish. The higher open interest is giving an idea of bearish. Chandan sir, we have also discussed about open interest, right?
No, sir, not yet. We have started that open interest. General introduction is given, but
Okay.
in detail we have not discussed.
Okay. See, open interest is nothing but the number of contracts which are open, number of contracts which are open in the market. It is equal. There are equal number of buyers and sellers. So for every buyer there is a seller, right? So one buyer and one seller together makes one open interest. So right now 1,08,636 contracts are open. So there are 1,08,636 buyers and 1,08,636 sellers for the call options of Reliance Industries. Similarly, around 48,400 buyers and sellers for the put option of the Reliance Industry contract. Totally, you will see it is about 1.56 lakh. If I go back with the Nifty data of same open interest to give you an example. Go to the option chain. See, totally 6,66,000 contracts are open. 6,66,000 contracts are open. There is one more number available here, that is 72 lakh. 72 lakh is the volume or total number of transactions that have taken taken place for the day. That is from morning 9:15 to 3:30 as the market runs. 72 lakh contracts have been traded. Out of these 72 lakh contracts which have been traded, today, and many such which would have been traded on the previous days. Totally 6,66,000 contracts are open. These people say we will carry the trade for Monday and let's see. So the buyers are also ready to take risk, sellers are also ready to take the risk. Now, if you go to the put side, 6,78,000 contracts are there. So puts are on a little higher quantity sold compared to the calls. And how do you calculate the put call ratio? You just take this 679, 6.79 put contracts and divide it by the open call contracts. You will see the ratio is 1.02, suggesting that the strength of buyers and sellers is almost at a equal even range, and nobody is taken a extreme level of position expecting that market will be too high or too less. Put call ratio is the division of open interest of puts and open interest of calls. Higher put call ratio indicates that market is bullish because more people have sold the put options. Lower put call ratio indicates markets are bearish because more people have sold the call options. Put call ratio beyond certain level will indicate that markets are highly oversold or overbought. So these numbers will change from time to time as the market conditions are looked at. So if I have to just give an idea, a put call ratio of anywhere like 1.6 to 1.8 will be a strong resistance zone for the market, where more people have sold options, and 0.6 or 0.5 will be another support zone. Open interest can be used to understand the market direction also. Open interest, volume, and the price. If all three are together moving up, price is increasing, volume are increasing, and open interest is increasing, indicates the markets are strong because more people are buying in and taking the positions home. Right? Open interest means people have bought and took the positions home. Volumes increased means participation is increasing. Prices are rising indicates that with this higher participation and higher take home of positions, the prices are also strong, indicating that things are all good. You can continue looking at a positive trend in the market. Similar thing goes opposite, that price is rising, but volumes and open interest are reducing. Sentiment of weakness. Price is declining, but volume and open interest is increasing. So if volumes and open interest increase with the falling price, means people are creating short positions and taking that short positions home. So indication of weakness. Price, volume, and open interest, everything dry up. Everything is down. Price is down, volumes are down, open interest is down. Means people have lost hope with the market and gone out. And now when people go out of market, it creates a entry of fresh bull market and a new upside begins there. So this is how we look at open interest, price and volume data together to understand what kind of transactions we can look at. What kind of market scenario could be seen. So these were the strategies which I was talking about earlier. One is called as bull call spread and bull put spread. Both are bullish strategies, where if you are on outlook that you are having a slightly bullish market outlook, then you enter these strategies. You are again having a smaller risk because the strategy you have entered has inflow and outflow of premiums both. Again, the rewards are limited because we are not expecting any kind of extreme bullishness in the market. So we are also limiting or expecting a smaller profit ratio. So risk reward both is lesser in a slightly bullish market. What do you do? Buy a call option and buy the current call option and selling the higher amount of higher strike price call option, or sell the in the money put option and buy the out of money put option. So this is how you look at a bull call spread or bull put spread. Similar, another strategy is bear call spread and bear put spread, where we are expecting markets to be little weak, as expecting that markets are weaker but not extremely weak, and hence we do a spread of buying a put and selling a put, or selling a call and buying a call. So this will be another strategy. Early. Great. This will be another strategy you can look at for entering into a strategic trade of bear call and bear put spread. If you want, we can take some examples, or anything more to be. I mean, any questions you have, we can discuss on that. Chetan sir.
Yes, sir. Any students have any questions?
Because I've gone little faster, but
Yes, sir.
any questions we can elaborate and discuss, no issues.
No, sir. I think they don't have any questions.
So anything from your side, like if you would like to ask anything.
Yes, sir. Actually, I have the question related to future contract.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, last year the SEBI has made an announcement stating that whenever this contract takes place, the delivery compulsory should happen. It seems.
Yes, sir. If we talk about Indian market rules, now the delivery of derivative contracts have begun. And when we say delivery of these contracts happen, it is in the sense that if I have purchased a contract of 24th June, which is expiring on the coming Thursday, that is the next Thursday, 24th June, and if I have taken a contract of, let's say, example, Reliance Industries buy, Reliance Industries future is a buy. Then on 24th of June, if my position is left open, I do not square off the position before market close of 3:30. That will make me take delivery of shares, 250 shares of Reliance Industries at the price which I have entered the future contract. So if I have entered the future contract at 2,200, I will get delivery of Reliance futures at 2,200.
Okay.
That the buyer. Similarly, as the seller has also left the open position, because one contract is buyer and seller together, right? So
Yeah.
if I have left open position, there will be someone else who has left a open short position, and he has to make sure that he gives delivery of these shares to me mandatorily.
Okay. So it is applicable only for shares and index. What about commodities?
No, this is applicable only for shares. Index, their delivery does not happen.
Okay, okay, okay. It is only for shares. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only for equity shares, and then this is applicable for futures and options both. So
Okay.
all the call options and put options which are open on the expiry date, again, to be specific, the at the money and in the money call options, and at the money and in the money put options. I'll just share the screen for your reference.
Any students has any doubts until here?
See, this is the delivery mechanism happening for the equity shares, and that is for the futures and options both. On the settlement day of expiry, if you have open position in at the money and in the money call options as a long position, you have to take delivery. If you have a at the money and in the money put option short positions, you have a short position in at the money and in the money put. That means you had a bullish stance on the market, and you have to take delivery then of the shares. Similarly, if you had a futures contract long, you need to take delivery. Opposite side, if you had a futures contract short, you have to give delivery of shares. If you had a at the money and in the money put option position open, long position, you have to give a delivery of shares. You had shorted that the at the money and in the money call options, you have to give delivery of shares. Settlement of these contracts happens on the trading plus 2 days. That is, Thursday is the last trading day. Trading plus 2 day today is Friday and Monday. On Monday, the buyer has to arrange and make payment of the funds, the shortfall funds to take the delivery, and the seller has to ensure that he has arranged and deliver the equities to the buyer. This all happens and the settlement process gets taken care by the exchange itself, but as a buyer we need to ensure we have sufficient funds, and as a seller we need to ensure that we have shares to be delivered. If we do not have shares to be delivered, that gets again auctioned in the market, and the differential price of the auction also has to be borne as a loss by the short seller. So this is about the delivery settlement of equities. Similar process is there for commodities, especially gold, silver, uh, and steel, copper, zinc, etc. have also started delivery settlements. Crude oil and natural gas are the contracts where delivery does not happen. Maximum delivery happens in the agriculture commodities like wheat, chana, jeera, sugar, dhania, and multiple other equity contracts. I mean commodity contracts, the deliveries happen. So deliveries happen for the individual commodities and individual equities, not for the indexes of equity and commodity market, not for the currency derivatives. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. No more questions.
I think
You can
people
continue.
are not understood, are not interested. Okay. So see, these guys, these markets are very interesting for those who want to participate and make some wealth for themselves as a trader. It requires you to be active in the market. Only then you look at the derivatives. Otherwise, derivatives are not particularly useful for a person who says, "Let me sit and relax. Let the markets do it, take its own time." For them, the cash markets are the ones which are best suitable entities where you can buy and hold a stock, keep it for a year, two, or much longer. You can participate in equities. You can even take delivery of gold, buying one gram of gold and getting a delivery of physical delivery or a demat delivery of same. That can be done. But if you want to participate in the derivative markets, these markets are something which will require you to be active, and the possibility of making wealth is immense. I mean, as the possibility of making losses is also huge, similar is the opportunity to make profits. I can tell you that since last one and a half year, during the course of lockdown and multiple restrictions being put in, uh, there is a huge rise in participation, especially from the youth generation, and people participate in these markets, make a lot of transactions with small amounts. It can be starting from 5,000 or 5 lakh. It's all depending on individual potential, but you have good opportunities in this market to make money. And as we have also discussed with Chetan sir, we can provide you a platform or a mobile application which gives you access to these markets as a free of cost account, where you can upload your basic details and get the accounts activated. All you will require is a PAN card and Aadhaar card. And to activate the derivative segment, you will require the 6 months bank statement or passbook to be uploaded, and your accounts will get activated. And as a initial gesture, we are making the accounts open free of cost for all of you. Yes, sir. You can now take it forward.
Yeah, sir. I have some more questions.
Yes.
So actually, I just wanted to ask the future of stock market as well as the derivatives market. So what is your suggestion for the MBA students? How they want to start their investment? So what should be the future for them?
See, if I have to tell you, the very good thing I have liked recently is that last few years, the colleges and multiple institutions have started grooming and teaching the students on the concept of derivatives or even equities, because so far we did not have much of this learning available at the college level. And as soon as the students go out of college, they start making money, they start doing businesses, or they get into jobs, and they have start of income flow coming in. If you want to make a good corpus for your retirement, again, see, retirement is a one concept which will not make any sense to be thought when you are a student or when you are in the first few years of a job, but 100% it is required, because today we are into a nuclear family culture. We do not have a big or a large joint families to take care of each other during the time when we are not earning or not having any potential earnings seen. On a nuclear family culture, it becomes very difficult to be dependent on the child for the retirement, and hence it is the best thing that you start saving for your retirement as early as you start earning. It can be a small amount. You can start with a small amount of 500,000, 2,000, whatever you can save, but do start saving through mutual funds or through equities, or by adding 1 gram of gold in your portfolio. Multiple asset classes are there. I'm not telling only equities, only mutual funds, or only gold, but keep adding any financial asset on every month basis. And it can be as low as 500 rupees today. You can buy gold in multiple of 500 rupees or 1 gram. You can buy equities in parts. You can buy mutual fund with a SIP of 500,000 rupees. So any kind of asset you find suitable for yourself, start adding it, start saving it, and accumulating it for a long term, and that will surely ensure that you have a good, prosperous life. So look at and focus on saving and investing for your future. Of course, enjoy your life. You are earning for yourself, and you want to enjoy the life. At the same time, keep adding a small bit of yourself for future also. So that is something I'll suggest you. And the option of account opening which I am giving you with the IFL Markets app, you will have multiple product related trainings or webinars happening time to time once you have an account. So you will have an opportunity to learn. I mean, you may not invest in anything and everything, but there are 100 things coming up, and it is good to add knowledge. So this will give you an opportunity to learn multiple products, multiple investment asset classes, and this will also help you to a long in a long term for sure. Because we are, as you say, everyone is doing MBA, but everyone will not be interested in finances for sure. There will be people who are interested in administration. There will be people who are interested in finance. There will be people who are interested in marketing and sales also.
Sir, one more question. What for stock market, it may be, or for derivatives market, it may be. So, which source they have to refer, sir? Which is reliable source which they can depend on?
So today, data is everywhere available on Google. There is ample data available. But if someone wants to study something on equities, you go to the company's own website, or the nseindia.com, bseindia.com, or mcxindia.com websites. And on this portal, you will have access to the financial reports of a company. If I say Reliance Industries, you just get into Reliance website and look at the investor section. You will have access to the investor presentations by Reliance Industries. Same thing for TCS, Wipro, or any other. Even it can be a very smallest company of 100 crores. They will have the investor presentation available, and that is one thing you can always study and understand how the companies are doing. And if you talk about derivatives, NSE option chain gives you the exact live data of what is happening in the Indian derivative market. That is something you can study at. And our app has multiple data available, multiple research reports available. We cover top 500 companies, and research report of these 500 companies are updated every quarter. So this data can again be refreshed, used for your investment decision. You have access to 500 companies investment, performance and quarterly update, research reports of these 500 companies. with a recommendation buy, sell, and hold will be available for you, all free of cost. So this is one thing again available for investment. Similarly, for derivative trader, the option chain analysis, how to create option strategies, and multiple such things are again available on the mobile app and the web browser of our portal. So that if you are active and just try to explore more and more features, you will have lot and lot of data for sure.
So students, if you have any doubts, you can ask related to futures and options or related to derivatives.
Today, the cash, I mean, if I have to tell you, the futures market trading volume is touching 1 lakh crores, and not one, 10 lakh crores per day. 10 lakh crores is the market size or activity which is happening only in the equity segment. Similar such activity is happening in commodities and currency segment, which is in size of 1 lakh crore each. So 10 to 12 lakh crore size of market it is, and at least 5 crore individual active investors have already participated in the Indian markets. So that is the size of market. Anything you want to understand, any topic related to investing, you can ask.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, hi Krish.
So recently, the lot size of the future market has reduced. So what is the reason behind it?
The lot size of the derivative contracts of equity will keep changing time to time. The SEBI has mandated that every contract should be minimum 5 lakh rupees and maximum should be in range of 10-12 lakhs. So if a company's price rise within, suppose the lot size of Reliance Industries is 500 shares, and the price move up from 1500 to 3000 rupees. So 500 into 1500 was 7.5 lakh rupees. Now as the prices move up to 3000 rupees, same contract, the lot size is now 15 lakh rupees. So SEBI has mandated that every contract in the equity should be in range of 5 to 10 lakh rupees, and that is why every 3 to 6 months the lot size are revised. Either the quantity is increased or decreased to ensure that the price, the contract value falls within this range.
Thank you, sir. Got it.
Welcome.
Any students? Any questions? Okay, I think they don't have any questions related to this. So we are in the end of the session now. So thank you very much, Bharat Jain sir. So it was a wonderful session. We hope in future also we'll have more and more session of this kinds, which will beneficial for us, for our students.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chetan and the other team of the Anand Sagar institutions. And
Yes,
it's always a pleasure to be connected with you. Pleasure to connect with students, and I expect that it will surely help you in future. Help the team in future to make their financial lives and decisions easier.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for joining the session. I thank our director for supporting us to have this kind of session. So I thank one and all. So we'll wind up for today, sir. Thank you very much, Bharat Jain, sir.
Welcome, sir. All have a good day. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.